It's 10 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. 10 o'clock on a beautiful Sunday morning. Good to see you, the Monarch. Good morning to you as well, Cohagen. Let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome to yet another chapter of Solo Leveling's special episodes. Last we ran through the chapters, Suho went up against his father Jin, though at the time he didn't know it was his dad, and Jin proceeded to just straight up body him and just show him, yeah, this ain't what you want, boy. So he wakes back up, and then we see the lives of different individuals, such as Jin's father, who's a chief inspector of the fire department. We see Jinno, who's a CEO of a company called Ajinsoft, and that Jinna is 6 weeks pregnant with his child. Then we cut to different people all over. And it's like, wow, we're really catching up with everyone right now, aren't we? And as it cuts to Suho, like living out his life and everything, we end the last chapter with what appears to be like this spatial view of the world and a gate opening up. But enough of the recap. Let's get going with special episode 21. And we get some narration. Gates. No one knows what may emerge from within them. That is why the human race once lived in a state of constant terror, praying that the gates would remain sealed. But there were those who faced that fear head on and ventured into the gates. And we refer to them as hunters. And then it cuts to like a phone beeping and someone's answering the phone going, "Thank you for contacting the support division of the Hunters Association. How may I assist you today?" And then someone screaming on the phone going, "Didn't I tell you guys not to send Mr. Sung? Why don't you ever listen to me?" "I'm sorry, sir. It appears there was a mistake in organizing the raid teams. Could you please explain the nature of your situation in more detail?" "What's there to explain? I just don't want to have to deal with the corpses of my teammates. That guy's so weak that a little touch will knock him out. But you still sent him here just because he's a hunter. And if something happens, I gotta deal with it. I swear I'm gonna quit if you guys keep doing this." This must have been when Jin. This was before the main story of Solo Leveling. This is before the main story. We're cutting back all the way to before the beginning. "I swear I'm gonna quit if you guys keep doing this." Ask any student out there what they want to be when they grow up, and their response will most likely fall into one of three categories: a famous hunter, an employee at a prestigious guild, or an employee at the Hunters Association. Though, at the end of the day, office work is more or less the same wherever you end up. Cuts to this dude who's sitting at the desk, part of the support division. I heard this other place provides their hunters with coffee and snacks during raids. Don't we get any perks? Something urgent came up, and I was wondering if I could get paid early this month. If I don't join the raid today, I won't be able to pick up my kid from... If I join the raid today, I won't have anyone to pick up my kid from school. Will you be able to lend me a hand just this once? There's always the usual barrage of complaints and demands. Mr. Sung, huh? I think his first name was Jin Woo? Let's see. An injury rank hunter. Sorry, I saw injury on the screen. Let's see. An E rank hunter, and his lowest stat happens to be mana. In terms of stats, he's no different from an ordinary guy. My god, this guy can't stop getting himself hurt. And it cuts to, on his rank, he's E rank, Sung Jin Woo. And all you just see down underneath his name is just injury after injury after injury. It's a miracle he's still alive. There must be some reason as to why he goes to such great lengths to keep working as a hunter. Oh, I see. His mother's currently comatose in the ICU, while his younger sister's still in high school. He must be struggling to make ends meet. He's 23 years old. That's 6 years younger than me. Sir, shouldn't we try to persuade Hunter Sung Jin Woo to resign? I was about to say, why didn't the page load up? But it's there.
You think we haven't tried that already? Let me ask you something. What made you join the Korean Hunters Association?
Me, sir? It's because of a news story I heard as a kid. It was about a hunter who selflessly rescued her comrades from getting trapped inside a gate. He took their place and became trapped and became... She took their place and became trapped instead. At first, it started out as mere curiosity. Those people readily risk their lives to help others, but who's going to be there to help them in return? If no one else will support them, then I should. I'll do my best to ensure that the hunters are safe and can avoid any injuries or fatalities. I think that's what I told myself back then.
Would you rather have Hunter Sung quit, or would you like to help him instead?
I guess you got a point, sir. Come to think of it, I guess there's nothing I can do other than suggest that he resign.
But what if there was something you could do?
Pardon?
There are people classified as high-rank awakened ones, who opt not to become hunters because they have no interest in wealth. Why don't you persuade people like this to help the hunters at your association?
And on one of the list of papers that he hands to the dude, we see Jui. She's shown, her picture is shown on this clipboard that he hands to the guy.
Why don't you persuade people like this to help the hunters at our association?
Oh, a B-rank healer? Lee Jui. She's a high-rank healer. Despite her incompetence, Lee Jui chose not to become a hunter out of fear. On the other hand, Hunter Sung Jin Woo is weak but overcomes his fears and ventures into the gates. When someone can help change another's fear to courage, it becomes a source of strength for the weak.
What do you say? Are you willing to give it a shot?
May this serve as a small but meaningful boon for his journey beyond the gates. Yes, sir. I'll give it a try. So, wow. So they paired up Jin with Jui because these regular dudes saw something in Jin that maybe we could coax him into being something better than what he is. So let's pair him up with a high-rank healer and see where this goes. And then it cuts to the skyline. I think we're done with the flashback now because it no longer has the black backgrounds. That's something I've noticed in both manga and manhwa as well. If it has a black background around it, some of the time it tends to be for flashbacks. But we're back with white background, so we're back in the present day. And we have people walking through the streets. And then we have someone going, rock, paper, scissors! Sorry. Every single time I try to do a reading, my nose is always trying... Pardon me. And it cuts to the girl that was walking with Suho when Suho came out of that dream when Jin, handed his hind parts to him.
Gotcha, you're really bad at this. Here, now you have to carry my bag.
All right. Huh?
What's wrong? Did you see something?
No, it's nothing. And Suho looks over, he looks up towards the sky, and then it starts zooming out from the sky and it starts to go above the clouds. And high above the clouds, we have a big old black and purple dragon flying through the air. And we have we have one or two individuals on top of this dragon. Ooh, it's... I had a feeling I knew who it was on top of this dragon, and my confirmation is correct. We have the back of someone. We have the back of someone and her strawberry blonde hair just in the wind as she goes,
"It's been a long time since I've seen this view. Honey?"
And then it looks over, and then this person looks over. I know who this is. She looks over, and then an individual goes, "Happy anniversary. Here's to our 16 years of love and companionship." And then it cuts to this individual who has like a scarred left hand. Who do we know that has a scarred left hand? a scarred left hand as he opens up this little case, and it has like this necklace on it, but it's not like a big ring on or anything. It was like some sort of pendant. And he says, "Happy anniversary. Here's to our 16 years of love and companionship. Go home first, babe." And then he puts it around her neck, and they kiss each other and he goes, "I'll be right behind you." And then this individual says, "You won't be long, right?" And mind you, this person's hair is long. It's long. It's like she has it in a ponytail, but it's long and flowing. "Ah, I'll be waiting," says Cha Hae-in, as we see a highly detailed view of her face. They're riding on Kaisel. Like, how long has it been since Jin and Cha Hae-in took a dragon flight up to the clouds? I remember when they went on their first date during the original timeline when they did this. This is wholesome. I like this! This is wholesome! But hold on. Is my audio right? Yes, my audio is right. Thank God. But it's Cha Hae-in who says, "I'll be waiting." And then we cut to Jin's face. Older. Mind you, he has to change his age because he's immortal. But he looks so much older. Like he's middle-aged, but at the same time, you can't tell if he's middle-aged. Like he's aged. He has like wrinkles over his face, but not to the degree of like Go Gun Hee. But you can definitely tell that he's older. And Jin just looks at her. And Cha Hae-in flies off with Kaisel, while Jin is just in the air by himself. He's just literally floating in the air by himself. He's just floating in the air by himself. And then he glances, and then a gate opens up in front of him. I get massive Satoru Gojo vibes from Jin whenever he does literally anything. He's just not as crazy-minded as Gojo is, but I get that sense of lackadaisical towards anyone with power. He really does remind me of Satoru Gojo, if Satoru Gojo was calm at all times. But he's floating in the air as this big old gate opens up. And then we get some inner monologue from Jin. "It's said that entities with formidable powers can attract terrifying beings from other realms. Whew. Arise." As Jin is... Yo! As Jin's... How long has it been since Jin has said arise? How long has it been since I said arise for Jin? Arise. No, I gotta say it right. No cracks in the voice. It's gotta be pure. Arise. And he says it, and we get Tusk. We get dragons. We get Igris. We get Beru. We get Belion. We get so many you get so many dragons and all of his top people appearing right behind him. No, don't do this to me. Where's the page? Where's the page? Okay, there we go. And we cut back to what appears to be the same dungeon that Suho went through. You know, the one that had the 3 flames, and if all of it went out, then it's game over. It cuts back to this dungeon, and we see destroyed armors. And then we have some narration. What lies beyond these doors? And it's the same doors that Suho went up to when he was going through the first time, and then behind that door was Igris originally. I'm scared. What if there's a monster that's unlike anything I've dealt with before? Am I gonna die? In a place like this? But there's no way of knowing unless I step inside. I don't know what lies in wait, but... And then it shows one of these flames going out. Darn it. Did I die again? Are we cutting back to when Suho went through this originally, and maybe we're going to see this from Jin's perspective? Darn it. Did I die again? How many days have I been stuck here already? I'm exhausted. I wish I could go back. And then it keeps showing those 3 flames going out one by one until there's only one left. I have one last chance. For some time now, I've been hearing this voice cry out to me. Arise. Arise. Even if this may be my final chance, I don't plan on being at a standstill for the rest of my life. And as it shows Suho standing in front of this gate, we then get the appearance of another individual standing in front of this gate, but it doesn't look like Suho. It almost looks like Jin when he was younger, before he became the vessel for the Shadow Monarch's power. I gotta refresh my page because it's not loading up what I'm trying to see. There we go. That's much better. And then it cuts back to Suho, back when he got strong enough to go through all of these soldiers and get to the door to Igris. And as long as it means that I can grow stronger. And then it cuts back to Jin. It cuts back to the view of Jin when he was younger, but he had like the black hoodie and everything. I'll keep challenging myself. The doors open and it gets brighter and brighter. And then a light flashes. And then we get some more narration to face whatever lies beyond those doors. Yo. Hold on, let me read that again. Hold on. I don't plan on being at a standstill for the rest of my life. It shows a young Jin back when he had like loose hair and a green backpack. Then it shows Suho when he was fully ready to face the door. Then it shows Jin again, and as long as it means that I can grow stronger, I'll keep challenging myself to face whatever lies beyond those doors. That's it. That's the end. There's no to be continued. We've reached the end. And there's, wow. Wow. Okay, so I knew that this special series wasn't going to go on for a while, but it's kind of surreal reaching the end of it. Is this how I'm going to feel when My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and One Piece ends? It's like, you don't want these series to end, but you know at some point it's going to end anyway. We got some ending notes from the Disciples team, and I'm going to read it out. Hello to all the readers out there. This is Disciples, our special episode series, which we began as a tribute to our respected mentor, the artist Dubu, may he rest in peace, has finally come to a close. The solo leveling special episodes were made possible not by our skills alone, but by the immense love and support you have shown us. Sorry. Family's grabbing me breakfast, which works out well for me. The solo leveling special episodes were made possible not by our skills alone, but by the immense love and support you have all shown us. To Dubu, we owe all our achievements to you. Your presence has always been our beacon of strength. Your absence is still deeply felt by not just them, but by me and everyone who enjoys solo leveling. I'm saying that extra. Your presence has always been our beacon of strength. Your absence is still deeply felt, and our hearts overflow with gratitude and affection. We also wish to express our sincere thanks to Chugong, the brilliant mind behind the original novel, and to the entire team of dedicated staff members who have supported us every step of the way. Sincerely, Disciples of Red Ice Studio. And we get like a final image, a final small image below this final note of Cha Hae-in and Jin hugging each other. Series finale, solo leveling. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached the end. All right, let me just see what you guys have said. Raul, good to see you. How many solo leveling episodes are there? 21. I think it's going to end at chapter 10. This is the last before next solo leveling with Suho. Because I heard his name before. Suho's Jinwoo San Suho. There's a new manga. So sad it's over. This is there is Raul, but it's still in Korea. Yeah. The solo leveling Ragnarok series is over in Korea. It hasn't made it stateside yet. The girl that died. The end. Jui didn't die. Not even in the original timeline, I don't think. Yeah, she didn't die. Unless that's who you mean. But and now the pseudo spinoff will come later. I wonder if this will have the same artist or another one. It may have the same artist who did all these special episodes in tribute to Dubu. But I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, solo leveling Ragnarok, which continues with Suho, makes its way stateside, which we don't know when it's going to come stateside. Oh, no, the girl that took her, that killed herself was the last to rise. That was her. That last to rise was her. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Huh. It's hard to, I couldn't tell. Because it just shows Suho getting up, struggling to get up, and you just hear the words arise inside of him. But I don't know if you could tell if that was a girl that said that, unless you read the light novel and that was in fact her that did it. But if it was her, interesting touch. But we're done with solo leveling, everyone. You guys already know my feelings towards this series. I love the original run, and I especially love the special episodes. My heart was extremely heavy when we found the last time he said arise. Oh, okay. I couldn't really tell, Kitty. I couldn't tell. But you guys know how much I love this series. This is a awesome series. I love the original run, and after finding about what happened to Dubu, it just felt so incredibly heavy to read this series and realize that we will never get his unique way of doing drawings ever again. But reading through these special episodes, it just reaffirmed why I love this series. And I'm glad that he had people, that Dubu had people that greatly appreciated him, that loved what he did, and everything, to the point where they were willing to make this entire special series in tribute to him, and then cap off the series. So it's like this type of storytelling, especially for this to be my first Korean manhwa to ever get into. This was before beginning after the end, which we're still waiting to come back to the U.S. or at least get started in the U.S. Again. But Solo Leveling was my first Korean manhwa that was suggested to me, and a lot of people discovered my channel because of Solo Leveling, and I've enjoyed the series so much. This is literally the only series where I wear only black for. Like, this series literally got me into wearing all black just to match it with the series, because Jin wore all black in this series. And I don't think I've missed a single day where I wasn't wearing all black. I don't think I've missed a single day reading every single one of these chapters where I wasn't wearing all black. I could be wrong. I might have been when I was beginning this series earlier on. But ever since I started this series from the very beginning, where we were introduced to Jin, I had no idea what I was getting into reading this series. I had no idea that the story would be that far spread. I didn't realize that we would get a character who could gain universally encompassing power, and yet he's an individual who's humble, who is not cocky in terms of him being overly arrogant or mean to other individuals. He's brutal to his enemies and those who threaten his friends and family, but Jin as an individual is so incredibly well-rounded as a character. Like, he has all of this power, but he's content making sure that, hey, I'm just going to use this power to keep the people that I love and care about safe. And even when he's faced against insurmountable odds. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. Thank you, Kitty. I really do appreciate it. That's going to go straight towards Final Fantasy 16. But seeing all the trials and tribulations that Jin went through, seeing how he went from a person known as the weakest hunter to an individual that basically became a god, and he still didn't lose his humanity. I spoke about this before when the series ended originally, but for him to gain all this power and still be content living a normal life, and that power didn't go to his head. He didn't think himself as better as any other person. He didn't see himself as he did. Here's the thing. His mindset is akin to that of Superman's. They both have insurmountable amount of power where anyone can see that, oh, from the outside could see them as gods, but they don't think of themselves that way. So that's what really kept me that's what really held fast to me as a fan of Jin's. He has all this power, but he doesn't let that power get to him or decide his actions or anything of that nature. Overall, it was truly a great experience to the point where I want characters to be like Jin. There's characters in different manga who can reach sort of that level, but not to that degree of character development. We saw so much character development of Jin from the beginning of the series all the way until now. That's why Ashbourne chose him. His will and mind was strong. Exactly, because if you chose any other person, they could have wound up like Jin did in the What If story when Antares took over his body. Could have ended up like that. But Jin had the will and mind to have power and not change. Like, we've seen people who gain power, in the real world or gain finances or anything, and they let that one thing change them, sometimes for the worse. Not often for the better, but sometimes for the worse. We've seen the worst of what can happen when people gain power. But it's those who gain power, who gain all the wealth, and it doesn't change them any more than they were when they had only $5. It's like people who gain like $5 million and behave the same way they did when they only had $5. Those are the people who can truly enjoy having that type of status, because if they haven't changed ever since then they're probably better off than a person who gets 5 million and blows it all in a week. That's foolish. That's just an example. But Jin is a fantastic example of a character who literally deserves every good thing that's come to him. He didn't take it from people. It was given to him because he was worthy of it, and because of the hard work that he put into it. So overall, and not just Jin, but there are so many other characters that help him grow as an individual, as a person. Gogun Hee, Wu, Jino, Ju-yi. Many people that came into Jin's life, and especially his family, thank you, Kitty, especially his family, they came in and they helped influence Jin for the better, because he was really surrounded by people that gave him not just, straight up positive reinforcement, but they were there to be real with him, but at the same time, they encouraged him to be his best self. That he was surrounded by individuals that wanted him to be better. Not people that was all like, man, you ain't never going to be nothing. Because those are the worst types of people you could ever be around. Thomas Andre. Yeah, Thomas Andre was a fan as well. But the fact that Jin had people around him that loved him and supported him really helped him develop as a character. And of course, him leveling up and increasing his intelligence also allowed him to be wise as well. Because after Jin got pretty much to the pinnacle of his strength, he never made a single foolish action after that. That's wisdom. It's not just bravado, it's not just straight power, it was just straight up wisdom, because he became smart enough to anticipate pretty much 99.9% of everything that would happen. The only thing that really threw him off, even after he gained so much power, was when Antares appeared all the way in Canada instead of instead of, what is it? Not Beijing, but back near the ending of the original timeline. I'm sorry, I'm droning on. I apologize, but it's just this story means everything to me because it's like it's I've never experienced a story from Korea, from like a Korean comic, a manhwa even. I never experienced to this degree where it's like I am so fully invested in it. Yeah, in China. Yeah, in China. I never was this invested in manhwa. Before Solo Leveling, I never even heard of what manhwa even meant or what it even was. So I was kind of wondering like, is this worth it or what? And I wasn't too into it. But the more I read, the more it was like, the more I got into it, it just became apparent to me like this is not something that you can just get from, like, you can get a couple of these things from Japanese manga from here and there, but this story is amazing in every sense of the word. And I don't know if there's any Solo Leveling slander that's out there. I don't know because I don't look into it, but this story is a 10 out of 10 from beginning to end. I don't think there was a single chapter where I felt like it was a big waste of time. If the pacing, I don't think there was a single chapter where I felt like it was going on for too long. I don't think there was a single chapter where I felt like, I could have probably did something different here. Everything about Solo Leveling was good from beginning to end. Not just the story and the dialogue and the characters, but the imagery. The drawings for Solo Leveling were top tier all the time. And I have to say that I've invested about a good maybe 2.5 years of getting into Solo Leveling. Because at the beginning, I was reading from unofficial sites. So at the beginning of the series, I missed out on some things. People have made it very apparent to me that I've missed out on a couple of pages from the beginning of the series. But I went back and I read through them because I own the volumes. Like, I go out and I get the actual physical volumes of Solo Leveling on my shelf. I'm waiting for Volume 6 to come out at some point. But this was a story that, outside of me reading One Piece and My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen, One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Super, all the other series that I'm into, this was a great series, and I'm grateful to have shared this. My hearts go out to the Disciples team at Red Eye Studio, all the efforts that they put into this amazing story. You guys deserve a rest. They really do. We don't know when Ragnarok is going to come stateside, but until then, every single person that was involved in this story deserves a rest. They deserve a rest after giving us such a phenomenal story with a satisfying conclusion. So, that's all I got to say about this series. Sorry if it seems like I took too long, but I feel like I did something similar when the original storyline of Solo Leveling ended before we did the special episodes. I'm grateful to share this moment with you guys reading through this series. I hope you all enjoyed me going through the special episodes of Solo Leveling, because this story is amazing. And now, I guess this may be the last time I do a Solo Leveling reaction at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. So, yeah, wow. But Kohagen, you said to me earlier, am I interested in reading another manga or manhwa? At the moment, I'm probably going to take a break from manhwa. I know a lot of people want me to do different series. Black Clover, Seven Deadly Sins. There's a lot of things people want me to do, but I just need to formulate when's a good time to do them, and also do it in a way where I don't suffer burnout. Because I got a lot of things planned, but I want to make sure that I get them all done in a decent amount of time. So at the time right now, Kohagen, I don't have any plans of doing any new series at the moment. Because I'm also still focusing on reading through all of One Piece, which will be later today at 12, if you guys want to hang out for that one. But to everyone here, Solo Leveling's special episodes are over. Thank you for joining me in this journey as we read through these special episodes in this mini-series. All I can say to everyone at the end of the day is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, Share this stream with everyone you know because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. Arise.